What if your home had a dedicated brain center that was always accessible? Now, everyone has a phone, but tablets offer a lot of advantages over phones when we're talking about controlling your smart home and working with a connected lifestyle. So today I'm going to show you many of the options that you have and a few that you probably don't even know are there for you. We'll talk about some of the more advanced methods that you can use tablets and what are called dashboards as a major cornerstone of your home. Let's give her. You're seeing my Samsung tablets sitting here in stands. Now, I like this because I didn't have to do any permanent wiring, and if I want, I can remove them from the stand, take them with me throughout my home. You'll see why I like to do that in a bit, but this isn't the only way to turn a tablet into what I would call a dedicated smart home controller. You can also get magnetic mounts that attach to fridges or other metallic surfaces. You could do semi-permanent installations with mounts that attach to cabinets. And there are many people who complete permanent installations in their walls or on their walls. These kinds of semi-permanent or even permanent installs turn tablets into security panels, as well as giving you that smart home control. Here's a really neat feature that can turn your tablet into a command center. This is kind of special to Samsung tablets. This is called display board, and when I plug in the tablet to charge, you can set it to automatically go into this mode. Now, because I also have Samsung smart things in my home, I have a number of appliances, I gain control of those appliances and some of the other devices that I've brought into smart things. I also get these little routines or automations, and I don't know if you saw that, but running that's allowing me to turn on my light on the microwave right there for my oven. Now, I can even do things like pause or start my dryer, my washer. I have lots of different things, and as I have other devices connected, I get more control there. So I just long held on my microwave, and now it's brought up all of the different controls that I have for that device. So yes, I can turn on that cooktop light, but I can also send a whole cycle to that microwave. Now here, I'm just gonna long hold on my Ring video doorbell, and look, it's bringing that up, and I can get the live view right there from it. So you actually get some pretty good smart home control from this special daily board feature that Samsung tablets give you as long as you're using SmartThings. But this is just the basis of what I would say is dashboard mastery. This is a bigger canvas than your phone, so we can build these dashboards that are really powerful and stay on screen indefinitely. I'm gonna start with my most developed dashboard. Now, this was created very easily using what's called Homey. You can connect tons of smart home devices to this system, and you even get some of that kind of connected lifestyle stuff. Now, this is as easy as it is to kind of add things to the dashboard. If I want to add thermostat control, it's really not much harder than that. I do have a full guide linked below if you want to see how to do this. So building the dashboards is really simple. Anyone can do this. Here's the dashboard for my kitchen. And as I navigate around this, you can see there's kind of a bridge between controlling my smart home and then my connected life. So I have controls for all of my different devices over here. This controls lighting. I have control for lots of my appliances. I can do things like close my smart blinds, open them back up over here. And I even have like little graphs that'll show me things like how healthy the air is in my fridge. But I also have these little notes that I can leave. This can be left for my son, for my spouse, whomever Okay, and actually this is an automated note. This tells me I have that task to do. I also have options like being able to see my organic bin and garbage bin schedules on here. And we have other dashboards. So we have one that manages our home security system. And this was just added actually to the whole system. We can jump between the different dashboards really quickly with this or with this. Now, Homey also has a home page in the app, and you can customize it for each tablet in your home, as well as each phone. So when you place one of these tablets in your kitchen, you can have that home page focus on what you need there. You can also have one in your entertainment room focused on what you need to control there. And of course, you can leave any of your dashboard pages open. So when you want to do something like start music, it's just a tap away. Home Assistant is a more complex system to manage, but if you're really into making your life connected and smart, that's the That's the platform that you can do the most with. Their dashboards are unparalleled. I'm just diving into them. And we've seen people building things like you used to see on Star Trek. You can actually build a dashboard to look and work pretty much in any way you can imagine. Those are the more complex system, and not everyone is going to want to manage that. But tablets and the different apps let you customize the homepage of the app in order to control your smart home. I don't think a lot of people would consider a dashboard a really good idea next to a computer, but actually I can wake up my entire computer with this little screen here. But, you know, lights are kind of more visual, more fun. So I'm just going to turn on, those are called cube wall sconces, and they're just mounted in behind. I also have this little light strip that I can turn on and off here. And I have what's called the gaming sync box. And that actually lines up the colors with what's happening on screen. So I even have a control to turn that mode on. And then you'll see all the colors start to shift to what's going on screen. So here's just an example. This little strip is currently yellow right here because the bottom of my screen is yellow, but as I fire this red weapon, you can see it's changing color. So it's reflecting what's on the screen. Google, Amazon, Apple HomeKit on iPads, and Samsung SmartThings all have customizable home pages. So whatever app you're using, you can change that main page. This allows you to place tablets around your home that are focused on the control that you would like. There are a couple of keys that will make it easier for you, and I think most of us want our spouse and our family to use the system and be happy when they do that. Now, what I can tell you is that most people will still look for a light switch, but tablets can be left with the screen on for most of the day. Just turn off the screen saving features and turn the tablet screen off manually at the end of the night. You can do more complex things, but that's another topic for another day. Instead, leave your main control screen open for the area you're in. Give a little demonstration to your family for how it works and show them the main control things on the main page. And then honestly, listen to their feedback for what they would like to have on the screen. If you can, take your security down to just no lock screen. If you can do that, that's going to help you in a lot of ways. So I have none right now. And it means when this screen is locked and I want to get it back on, it'll just come back on, or worst case, I have to swipe from the bottom. One other thing that I did is I adjusted what the side button does. And this can be very helpful to open up whatever app you'd like. And what's really neat about this is anytime I want, I can double tap and you see it opens up that app right to the page I wanted. It's giving me full control. instantly. I've developed a lot of what are called HMIs in my career. Those are the interfaces that people use to control industrial facilities. Now, what you want up front for a good control screen are the things that you use constantly. After that, you tap in or you swipe for the deeper controls that are used less often. So for me, you can see in my kitchen dashboard, I have instant access to my appliances, my lighting, and my shades. And then I start to move into the other elements that I may or may not want every day. The basic control needs to be there instantly, and that'll make it a useful dashboard for you and your family. Of course, tablets are based on the same operating systems that we've used on phones for many years. That does mean we get a couple of features that are really powerful for smart home control and for managing parts of our lives. A great example of this is voice control. Right now, we're starting to get our very first AI-based voice assistants with smart home control. Now, Google's Gemini is quickly replacing the Google Assistant. Can you make sure all the lights are white in the kitchen?
Lights set to white.
And we will soon see Amazon's Miss A Plus replace their existing voice assistant. Now, in a lot of cases, people look at smart speakers and smart displays to control their smart home and to get some basic questions answered. However, I will tell you that in practice, if you're in a room and you have a tablet near you, you can request the voice assistant and the tablet will hear you just fine. Hey Google. What's nice about Android tablets specifically is that you can, in some cases, customize your preferred voice assistant. So right now, as Gemini is coming available, you'll probably pick that on a tablet like this. It initially comes with Google Assistant, but if you can't already in your country, you will be able to move over to Gemini very soon. These Android tablets, especially the ones from Samsung, do have access to voice assistants like Bixby. Hi Bixby. And some others when you install those apps. This is where Android tablets do hold an advantage over Siri, as you can't really have those other voice assistants listen all the time on iPads. You can have them there, but on this tablet right now, I have Bixby and Google listening. Another really great feature of tablets is related to what we just talked about with dashboards, but because of what are called widgets, you have the ability to customize your home page on your tablet to control your home. It's just like phones, but with a much bigger display. Earlier, I showed you how we could go into display mode on these tablets, and we would get the ability to turn on our lights or turn on our appliances. Well, here's a simple widget that I created with Samsung SmartThings in the SmartThings app, and it's turning on that same oven light right there. Now, I made the same widgets with what's called Home Assistant. Depending on what smart gear you have, you'll have other options too. But I think even when you go out, you buy something like a fan or an air purifier or another small appliance, it's great to have both the information and the controls for those. Now, Samsung has this really interesting feature where you can combine widgets that are the same size into the same space. So I took 3 widgets from a company called Drio, and you can see how I can just swipe to the side, which allows me to switch between them. Now, these are beautiful widgets, and the control is pretty incredible. What I just did is I just turned on both the fan, you can see it oscillating, moving up and down, and I actually turned on an RGB light that is on the back of this fan. I can go in for more details if I'd like. When it comes to cameras, these can be so useful because some of these widgets can produce snapshots for you from your cameras, and others allow you a quick access into your camera feeds. So for my Ring video doorbell, it's as simple as tapping on that little icon on my home page. I get a live view. I can speak to people on the other side of it. My Tapo cameras, they actually have a live feed on them as well, so that can be very useful. And for things like dashboards in applications, you can see I'm getting events from my Eufy cameras and that real-time view from my Ring video doorbell. You're going to want to think about your layout on your main page. Like if this tablet is mostly going to act as something you're going to control your home with, put those main control elements on the first page. I always think it's great to have the ability to look at something like your video doorbell instantly, and I do love the ability to control my lights in a space or my security system.
See you later.
So you can see I just armed my whole system here, and I just disarmed my whole system. If you're looking at installing this into your wall, then there are a few details I think you need to know. Number one, things move fast in the smart home industry. What works today might not work tomorrow, so plan your install so that you can change it in the future. Number two, tablets can be placed in wall mounts. You can find ones that are intended to sit flush with your wall or pop out a little bit, angle a little bit, and these mounts are normally intended to be powered. However, you have to watch out that the mount you're buying has all the features you need. You also have to make sure it keeps the tablet and its ports accessible. You need access to the power and the volume buttons too. Number three, most tablets shouldn't be charged all the time. Although many of the manufacturers have features like these do, where they do something called smart charge, you still gotta check with the maker before you leave a tablet plugged in full time. Now, number four, what a lot of people do or use to manage this is twofold. Many people use smart plugs with a plug installed behind the wall-mounted tablet, and/or they use something called Fully Kiosk. Fully Kiosk is, at this point, a pretty substantial piece of software. You can install it on Android tablets, and it lets you manage almost every setting, and it also lets you define how your tablet works entirely. Number five, and this is just because I have a background in electrical engineering. I've actually seen a lot more things than I care to admit explode. Some tablets can get quite warm, and this is especially the case when you add a smart plug behind them, plus what is essentially a conversion to a DC power supply. You end up with some heat being generated behind your tablet. Now, my opinion is that you need an electrician to do this, and that's okay because then it'll be done right and you'll follow applicable electrical codes. I just want you guys to be safe if you're heading down that path. At least consult with an electrician. The benefits of a tablet are massive. They're highly customizable command centers for smart homes, and they can even be customized to help you with your everyday life. You can go and repurpose older tablets that you have in your home today, and you can use all of the different apps to create really powerful dashboards. I'd love to hear from you guys what you're doing with your tablet. Maybe you're using other apps or other systems that have really helped you. I think it'll really help others with their ideas to read yours in the comments below. I have left links down below for this tablet here from Samsung. I think it's a really good mid-range option for doing all of this. It's the S6 Lite, which is newly released in 2024, and even here in Canada, it had a reasonable price. It does have good processing power to handle everything I showed you today. It's got a great screen, and I also got the S Pen with it. So overall, it was a good tablet for my use case. I did buy an older, cheaper version. It has a little less processing power and no S Pen, but it still performed really well for me. So I'll leave that link down below too. You saw our smart appliances in today's video. They're behind me right now. And you might be wondering if those are worth it. Well, we explored that in the video that's up on screen there. But if you're more interested in making one of these dashboards, well, here is our guide on building dashboards with Homey. So check one of those videos out. Otherwise, thanks for watching today. And of course, live smart.